Good morning. We are now on chapter 4 of Crenshaw. A few hours after my Crenshaw sighting at the beach, he appeared again. No surfboard this time, no umbrella, no body either. Still, I knew he was there. It was about 6 in the evening. My sister Robin and I were playing cereal ball in the living room of our apartment. Cereal ball is a good trick for when you're hungry and there's nothing much to eat till morning. We invented it when our stomachs were grumbling to each other. Wow, I would love a piece of pepperoni pizza, my stomach would growl, and then hers would grumble, yeah, or maybe a Ritz cracker with peanut butter. Robin loves Ritzes. Cereal ball is easy to play. All you need are a few Cheerios or even a little piece of bread all torn up. M&Ms would be good too if your mom isn't around to say no sugar. But unless it's right after Halloween, you probably don't have any. It's my family. In my family, those guys really go fast. First, you pick a target to throw at. A bowl or a cup works fine. Don't use a wastebasket though, because that might have germs. Sometimes I use Robin's T-ball cap, although that's probably pretty gross too. For a 5-year-old, that girl can really sweat. What you do is throw your one piece of cereal and try to make a basket. The rule is you can't eat that piece until you score. Make sure your target's far away or you'll finish your food too fast. The trick is that you take so long to hit the target, you forget about being hungry. For a while anyways. I like to use Cheerios, and Robin likes Frosted Flakes. But you can't be picky when the cupboard is bare. My mom says that sometimes. If you run out of cereal and your stomach's still growling, you can always try chewing a piece of gum to distract yourself. Stuck behind your ear is a good hiding place if you want to use that gum again. Even if the flavor is gone, your teeth get a workout. Crenshaw showed up. At least he seemed to show up. While we were busy throwing my dad's brand cereal into Robin's cap, it was my turn to throw, and I got a direct hit. When I went to take out the cereal piece, I found 4 purple jelly beans instead. I love purple jelly beans. I stared a long time at those things. Where did the jelly beans come from? I finally asked. Robin grabbed the cap. I started to pull it away, but then I changed my mind. Robin is small, but you don't want to mess with her. She bites. It's magic, she said. She started dividing up the jelly beans. 1 for me, 1 for you, 2 for me. Seriously, Robin, stop kidding around. Where? Robin gobbled down 2 jelly beans. She said, which I figured meant stop teasing me in candy mouth. Aretha, our big Labrador mutt, rushed over to check things out. No candy for you, Robin said. You're a dog, so you eat dog food, young lady. But Aretha didn't seem interested in the candy. She was sniffing in the air, ears perked towards the front door as if a guest was approaching. Mom, I yelled, did you buy some jelly beans? Sure, she called back from the kitchen. There to go with the caviar. I'm serious, I said, picking up my 2 pieces. Just eat Dad's cereal. You'll poop for a week, she answered. A second later, she appeared in the doorway, a dish towel in her hands. Are you guys still hungry? She sighed. I've got a little mac and cheese left over from dinner, and there's half an apple you could share. I'm fine, I said quickly. Back in the old days when we always had food in the house, I would whine if we were out of my favorite stuff. But lately, we've been running out of everything. And I had the feeling my parents felt lousy about it. We have jelly beans, Mom, Robin said. Well, okay then, as long as you're eating something nutritious, my mom said. I'll get my paycheck at Rite Aid tomorrow, and I'll stop by the grocery store and pick up some food for after work. She gave a little nod, like she'd checked something off the list, and then went back to the kitchen. Aren't you going to eat your jelly beans? Robin asked me, twirling her yellow ponytail around her finger. Because if you want me to do a big favor for you, I guess I could eat them for you. I'm going to eat them, I said, just not yet. Why not? They're purple, your favorite. I need to think about them first. You're a weirdo, brother, said Robin. I'm going to my room. Aretha wants to play dress up. I doubt that, I said. I held up the jelly beans to the light. It looked harmless enough. She especially likes hats and also socks, Robin said as she left with the dog. Don't you, baby? Aretha's tail wagged. She was always up for anything. But as she left with Robin, I glanced over her shoulder at the front window, and she glanced over her shoulder and whined. I went to the window and peered out. Checked behind the couch. I flung open the hall closet. Nothing. Nobody. No surfing cats. No Crenshaw. I hadn't told anybody about what I'd seen at the beach. Robin would just think I was messing with her. My mom and dad would do one of two things. Either they'd freak out and worry I was going crazy, or they'd think that it was adorable that I was pretending to hang out with my old invisible friend. I sniffed the jelly beans. They smelled not quite grapey in a good way. They looked real. They felt real. And my real little sister had just eaten some. Rule number 1 for scientists is, there is always a logical explanation for things. I just had to figure out what it is. Maybe the jelly beans weren't real, and I was just tired or sick, delirious even. I checked my forehead. Unfortunately, I did not seem to have a fever. Maybe I'd gotten sunstroke at the beach. I wasn't exactly sure what sunstroke was, but it sounded like something that might make you see flying cats and magic jelly beans. Maybe I was asleep, stuck in the middle of a long, weird, totally annoying dream. Still, didn't the jelly beans in my hand seem extremely real? Maybe I was just hungry. Hunger can make you feel pretty weird, even pretty crazy. I ate my jelly beans slowly and carefully. If you take tiny bites, your food lasts longer. A voice in my head said, never take candy from strangers. But Robin had survived, and if there was a stranger involved, he was an invisible one. There had to be a logical explanation. But for now, the only thing I knew for sure was that purple jelly beans tasted way better than bran cereal. All right, until next time, that was Chapter 4 of Crenshaw.